Hello everyone, welcome to this live session. Today's topic of discussion is baby sleep routine, and we have Amrita from Mom Uninterrupted who will be joining us shortly. She is a baby sleep consultant and she would be answering all our questions. If you guys have any questions, please do drop them in the comment box, and we will get to your questions once we have completed the discussion that we have planned for today. This is just so that we don't miss on the topic that we are discussing, and in case we are then either send those messages to us, those comments to us on the Instagram message box. uh, Hey, hi Vidya.
Hi, how
Or
are
else
you?
you guys can post your comment on the video which I will be sharing on our feed. So either way, we will be getting back to you with answers. It may be possible that we may not be able to get back to you like right on this session only, but then even later we will try to get back to you with all the answers. Yeah. So let's just wait for some time for Amrita to join, and once she's here, we can start with our question. Yeah, Vidya, you have to say something? You want to say something?
No. Here. Somebody has joined the session
Hey,
and
hi.
doesn't want to go.
Hi, Taru. Say hi. Say hi, Taru. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
that's enough. Yeah.
no. I just
Okay,
get
let's. Yeah. Yes.
no, she's not yet here. Let's just wait for some more time.
Okay, I'll just ping her.
Yeah.
Actually, she was ready. She was pinging me.
Okay.
Meanwhile, if any of you have questions, please do drop in as Nilufar said. And Nilufar, how are you? Please, and everyone, Nilufar really met with a very bad accident last
See?
week. That's the reason, yes, that's the reason we could not have our last session. And she's not recovered completely, but yet.
Hi.
Hi, Amrita.
Hi,
How are
I'm
you?
good. So much. How are you doing?
Yes, thank you so much for
Good.
joining us,
Thank you so
Amrita.
much.
Yes. I just, yeah, I just, before we start our session, I just want to tell something, okay? I shared today's live creative on my WhatsApp status, and one of our collaborators, no, pinged me saying, "Hey, Amrita, that's wow, she was the best."
Oh, my
So apparently, yeah, apparently she has attended your workshop and has been following the sleep routine since then, and she's really very happy. So we are really happy to have you with us.
absolute pleasure.
And
Uh,
yes, that was
I
so
want to
nice.
thank her. Tell me her name.
Yes, I will let you know. Yes, yeah, I'll definitely share her name with you on WhatsApp. Yeah. Do you want to say something before we start our session, Amrita?
So I just want to firstly congratulate you both on the great job that you guys are doing. And
Thank you so much.
yeah, and it's just so wonderful for me to be able to connect with fellow mothers, women, and moms in particular who are doing so much in terms of in making things easier for new mothers. So it's always a pleasure for me personally to collaborate with women. It's just so amazing, and I personally feel that mothers in particular are absolutely very, very powerful beings. know I don't know any mom who's any weak mom. All of them
Yeah.
are really powerful, and when we come together and create something on such a huge platform, uh, this this work has ripple effects. It
Yes.
it it touches lives, it changes lives, and I'm just so thankful to be here and talking to both of you.
Thank you so much,
So much for the
Amrita.
Like
podcast.
privileged to hear those words from you. You have been doing such a great job. Like, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
I I would not be able to talk more on this live because I'm still recovering from the accident that I had last week.
Yes.
So
So I'll hand it over to Vidya.
I hope you
Yeah.
feel better.
Yes. Yeah. So my first question is here, Amrita. Is there an ideal sleep routine for babies? And how long are the babies recommended to sleep at a stretch?
Okay. So firstly, I do not like to use the word ideal at all because is there something called ideal parenting? No, right? So sleep, just like parenting is not one size fits all, correct? Each baby is different. We could have two kids, and both the kids would be so different in their behavior, in their sleep needs, in how they approach life, how they take things, how the food habits are. So, uh, talking about idealistic, there's nothing ideal. Ideal would be what works for your child and your family at that given age, right? Having said that, of course, there are recommendations according to age-wise recommendation. Like for example, newborns are recommended to sleep 16 to 18 hours a day, right? So up till the age of say 3 to 4 months, it's recommended for newborns to sleep around 16 to 18 hours a day because newborns don't even know that they are born yet, right? We are still in the fourth trimester, correct? And they still need that like a very nice cocooned environment, and so some few newborns do 18 plus, few do 16, few do 17. So it doesn't really matter if your newborn is thriving at 16 and is not
Mhm.
cranky, sleeping well, that is your ideal sleep pattern. That is your
Okay.
if your child is someone who needs more sleep, they do better when they sleep a little more. That becomes your ideal, sleep. So there are recommendations. There are like, for example, when your child turns around 4 months of age, that's also when there's a circadian rhythm that sets in. So usually between 4 to 6 months of age, kids go to 4 naps because that's when a nap
Mhm.
routine starts to set in. And around 6 to 8 months is when they take 3 naps. 8 to almost 18
Okay.
months is when they're on 2 naps, and around on an average 15 to 18 months, but mostly the average is just 70 to 80 is when they drop the last nap, last nap, and then just go on one nap. And they stay on that one nap till they're around 3.5 or 4 plus till they're ready to drop it. So some kids drop it as early as 3, although it is recommended to give them some nap, because they're too young to not nap or not rest in the day. But they at 3 they start showing signs of nap dropping. So some days you will go without no nap. There's also like a really long regression at 3 months because the child is now learning. There's imagination that's building. They're learning multiple languages. They're learning to interact. They're exerting their independence. All of these things are happening at that age. So usually, mostly they start to show signs of dropping nap after 3 years, but they don't really drop it immediately. Most kids drop it beyond 4 years. So these are the
Okay.
recommendations. Having said that, there are kids who go on to take naps till 5.5 years of age. So this
Mhm.
works for them. They don't take a very long, they may just take a 45 minute or an hour long nap. So this is what works for them. Okay. Now there are also kids who stop napping completely at age of
Mhm.
3, and they just go take 12 hours of solid night sleep. So that is an idealistic routine for them, right?
Right.
So these are recommendations, and we all find our own idealistic sleep pattern and routine according to that. Yeah. Did I
Okay.
answer the
Okay.
question?
Uh, yes. 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 And Nilufer, do you think we should take two questions from the comment section because
Uh,
there were
there are actually many questions which have come up, Vidya, but I think it's better that you finish your
okay.
question
I
so
think
that
Yes.
we can ensure that we are covering everything that we plan to cover in this session, and then we can go in for questions from the audiences.
Sure. Sure. And yeah, second is how can co-sleeping at night help baby sleep?
oh Co-sleeping can help the mother also sleep beautifully, right? So studies have shown who co-sleep have a better quality of sleep, have a deeper quality of sleep. Also, as adults, I just say this to parents that keep the studies right. As adults, do you like to sleep alone or do you like to sleep with your partner next to you? Right? So why is it not okay for the child to want their, so we all have our own ways of sleeping, on our own sleeping arrangements. Some prefer to put the child in a crib because they do not want to put the child on the bed. Some prefer a separate nursery for the child, and a lot of parents prefer co-sleep. So there's no judgment here as long as we're responding to the child's need, right? So as long as you're taking care of that, it's okay. Any arrangement works. But what works best is co-sleeping, biologically speaking, scientifically speaking, because when we are co-sleeping, uh, there is all the child's entire senses are involved, right? So they can smell us, they can see us, they can hear us, they can touch us. Their nervous system is regulated. Okay, the skin to skin contact between the mother and the baby. So oxytocin and serotonin. Oxytocin is our happy hormone. Serotonin is a mood regulating hormone. Oxytocin and serotonin are released both in the baby's body and the mother's body. That's why every time a child cries, when we pick them up, they stop crying. Right? It's the skin.
Right.
Every time you hold your child, you'll see they sleep better. Snuggle to you and they sleep better. And this release of oxytocin also aids in our breast milk supply. Okay, it also increases our breast milk supply in turn. Okay, so when it comes to co-sleeping, all of these things are taken care of. Apart from that, now whenever your child is waking up in the night, if they are placed in a crib separately or in a nursery, the mother gets up, goes to the crib or the nursery, feeds, comes back, feeds, comes back. So now every time you come back, you don't just flop on the bed and go off to sleep. Right? You take some time. As a mom, you end up losing chunks of sleep in this process. Compared to if your child is just next to you, you just quickly have, you're a breastfeeding mom, you'll just quickly turn sideways, nurse them. If you're giving formula, the baby's right next to you, it'll just take you, seconds to respond to the baby. Right? Instead of you having to get up and walk. So you also end up saving a lot of your sanity and sleep in the process. So whether, personally, it is everybody's personal preference. There is no right and wrong here. But if you ask me biologically and scientifically speaking, uh, co-sleeping is the best. Of course, we have to follow safe co-sleeping practices. We cannot have any loose pillows or bedding around the child. No blankets near their face. We don't want it to cover their faces. If the mother has had alcohol, um, you know, uh, over a certain limit or she has smoked, it's best not to sleep next to the child as it increases the risk of SIDS. So once we are following safety practices, it, all of us in India do, most of us in India follow the attachment style of parenting. We don't like to sleep train our babies. We don't like to leave them to cry it out. We like to respond. We like to carry our babies, hold them. So it just co-sleeping really comes very easily and naturally to us. So as long as we're following safe co-sleeping practices, it's all okay. So
How long to fall asleep, Amrita? Like, till what age of the baby? It's good, or it's recommended.
child want. So it's not like your child is turned 3 and now you have to like throw them out of the room, or it's not like, oh, now they're 6, too big to sleep, near you. But there is no should here, honestly. But like some parents say, okay, now 3 years, 3.5 years, we would like to like nudge a little bit. So it's around 3, 4 years is when they're at an age where they're like kind of okay, understanding. They may be okay in their room, but there again you have to keep open. Like if you want, you can always come in the room. I'm right now. It's a transition. Like the child cannot go from co-sleeping with you to just sleeping independently the next day. It is a transition. It is a process. You may end up doing few hours in the night in their room and then come back to yours. Nudge them towards independence. But honestly, in all cases, in everything else, the child takes like a day or two. Compared to when they're not ready, keep doing the process. together. So it's best to wait till they're ready. But if you are ready before then you can just slowly start nudging them towards that. But again, this is a very, very personal preference. So there is no should here. There's nothing wrong in co-sleeping, even if your child is older than 4, 5 years. So my child is almost 4 years, very happily co-sleeping. So we have no signs of.
Yeah.
I'm just worried what if she tells me now I'm on my own room and I'm so used to sleeping in. No way, take me.
Yeah, I also feel my daughter might say that, to me very soon.
Yeah.
I need space.
Oh, please
Amma,
take me with
go.
you. Don't know. What am I supposed to do now? I'm just.
Yeah,
So
I know.
there is no particular age. As long
Yes.
as you are able to enjoy it, the child needs and you need, you can just. Eventually, they all move out of our rooms.
Yeah, true. Not way too late, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how can mental health of parents have an impact on, baby sleep patterns or baby sleep?
So studies have shown that the mothers who have anxiety and or have depression does affect the child's overall general mood, behavior, and of course sleep. So I'm sure a lot of people, I'm sure you have noticed it. Or if we ask someone in the audience, every time you want your child to, or the day you want your child to really go off to sleep, today, so something is I have to go here, I have to finish this work or that chore. Today, this state of mind should go off to sleep or sleep well. Okay, is the day that they choose to sleep, or may have a may end up waking up earlier than you had anticipated, right? Or the worst
Yes.
nap, like for some people.
Yeah.
Because why is that? Because of our anxiety, because kids pick up on our energies, right? So kids, like if you notice, they have a very, very strong sixth sense. Like a child will understand, okay, I don't want to be around this adult or I don't want to be, around this person. They have a very strong sixth sense. And they can really our mental health, our mood really affects them. So this is what I was just talking to one of the parents today, and I was telling her that, a lot of times we notice that we are trying to just make the baby sleep, 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 and the baby is just refusing. And someone takes over, and the child goes off in 5 minutes. So why is that?
Yes.
It's not personal. It's just that we are so stressed about sleep, as moms, which is important because nobody else is, so we have to take care of it, right? But then we make it such a stressful part of our lives that we forget that it's just sleep. It's just one of the aspects of your child's life. It's not your child's entire life, right? And we become so stressed about it, and the child understands, there's like too much negative vibe here. Let me just go to someone else. And the minute someone else picks him up, and the other person who does it has zero, you know, understanding of sleep or has zero expectations, does not give a crap about whether the child will go off to sleep or not. They are just like, come, you are sleepy, sleep. You're not sleepy, play. So the child is, it's really nice. Well, let me just go plonk on them and go off to sleep. Right?
Right.
So because there's no pressure, there is no stress, there's no anxiety. So as moms especially, it is extremely important for us to see now when we are new moms postpartum, of course, a lot of things also happen medically, hormonally. So sometimes like when we go to PPD or PPA, these things are not under our control. Like we don't will it and we don't invite it into our lives. Yeah, I want to have PPD or I want to have PPA, right? But so we have to find ways to fill our own cups. We have to find ways to unwind. If your child's sleep is firstly giving you so much stress, it's always advised to first align expectations of our expectations according to what to expect. What is the correct thing for our child to do. So basically, understanding what is age-appropriate behavior. Like a lot of parents want the child to start sleeping through the night at 4 months or 6 months, which is not biologically possible. You don't expect them to start walking at 6 months, right? So, so that when it comes to walking, we are not stressed because we know the child will walk only after they turn 1 or so. Correct? We are so cool about it. But when it comes to sleep, we're like 5 months still not sleeping in a long stretch, 6 months still waking up. So what is happening is because you have not taken the time to educate yourself about baby sleep, you're stressed about it. You're not stressed because of your baby. You're stressed because you're
Right.
hating yourself, right? So these things again keep adding on to the stress factors. So I just feel that half our stress just gets over the minute we align our expectations. Okay, and the remaining anxiety that doesn't, there's medical help available for that. But the underlying point is this: yes, our mental health affects our kids. When we are very stressed, we notice that they don't really sleep. The day you want them to sleep, they are not going to sleep that day, right? So it's best if you're always stressed, then maybe let some other caregiver take over the sleep part. If it's a stressful area for you, let someone else take over. But important thing is, yes, our mental health affects our kids, and as when we were kids, I'm sure, like when our parents were also not in the greatest of moods, it would affect us also, right? And not just babies,
Right.
as we grew, right? So toddlers, and then preschoolers, and even teenagers, up till now, like till now, right?
Mhm.
So it's only normal for
Yes.
babies to feel that effect. So it's paramount that we take care of our mental health as parents, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very important. Yeah. That's yes. What are the signs of sleep problems? Like when do we understand?
So um, this is a very this is an important question, but we have to understand what we mean when we say problem. So a lot of people will say that my child at 6 months is still waking up every 3 hours, so that's a problem. But if you tell me that, I'll tell you that's not a problem, because that's very normal for a 6-month-old to wake up every 2.5 hours in the night, nurse or take a bottle, quickly settle. So this is not a problem. Okay, my child
Right.
is not sleeping at night at 1 year. That's a problem. That is not a problem at all. That is a very, very biologically appropriate behavior. So congratulations, you have a normal child, right? So these are not problems at all. Now, what are problems? Or my child wakes up and goes to sleep only while nursing. Again, very, very biologically appropriate, not a problem. Okay, now if you want to change that, we can work on it. But if your child is doing that, it's not a problem. Like somebody just pinged me and said, my 18-month-old goes to sleep only by nursing. Is that okay? I said, of course that is. Why not? It's the easiest way to put the child to sleep. And our nighttime breast milk contains melatonin. So our melatonin, which is our sleep hormone, goes from our bodies to their body, and they just go off to sleep like this. So why not? So these are what we perceive as problems are not problems. These are very, very normal infant behaviors, biologically speaking and scientifically speaking. Now, what our problems are if your child is snoring in the night, like, or they have sleep apnea, like where they suddenly start to stop breathing for like 5-10 seconds. The child doesn't even know that they are breathing, or they're snoring really loudly. The mouth is always open, and these are problems that we need to look into. That what is happening, or if the legs are always itchy. These are, medically speaking, these are sleep problems. Or the child is sleepwalking, or has night terrors where they just wake up crying and their eyes are closed and they're not able to hear you. You're trying to like wake them up, they don't wake up. So these night terrors, night walking, sleep apnea, snoring, itching of the legs, these are problems. And of course, if your child is waking up every hour in the night, then that is got to do with your routine. So that is something that you can correct. Right? So unless your child is waking up every 45 minutes to an hour and has maybe say 7 wake ups in the night, right? Then those are things that you need to understand and see why that is not normal. While waking up, while the child, because we also wake up in the middle of the night, we drink some water, right? Check our phones, use the restroom, then go off to sleep. So it's very normal for all of us to wake up in the night. But if your child has excessive wake ups, is waking up every hour, is excessive crying, is not settling, is not getting soothed, then we need to overlook that. Then again, we'll have to figure out what is causing that. So these are issues of certain problems, right? Okay.
Yeah. Wow, that was really,
Yeah.
very good. What we think of problem is not actually the problem, but there are other problems that we need to look at. Yeah. That was really very nice, Amrita. Yeah. And
Okay,
yes,
I guess you're
yes.
done with your questions, right, Vidya?
Yeah, only the last one, like tips. I think we can hold to that if
Yeah.
there are any questions. Yeah.
Yeah, we can start maybe with the questions from audiences, if that's fine,
Yes, yes.
Amrita.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just looking at the questions only.
Yeah. Before we start now, why I interfered is because I have one question. Okay, so I'm
Yeah.
the first audience question to you.
Okay.
Okay. Now, say your child starts talking, okay, so he can basically communicate, like, what he wants and what he doesn't want. And he doesn't like sleeping, and that's what he says you, that I don't like sleeping, I don't want to sleep. What do you do about it? Like, say, actually, that's the case with my child, so that's why I'm asking you. He's 3 years old now, and he clearly says, Mama, I don't want to sleep, neither do I want you to sleep. And he doesn't sleep, like, I put him to bed and he's awake on bed for like say 2 hours at a stretch and he's reciting nursery rhymes and numbers and alphabets and things like that. Is that a problem or like that is something that I can consult you offline and we can solve it
So,
together?
how old is your child? 3 years.
3 years, 3 years.
So when
Now
your
it's just three.
child asks you, I don't want to sleep, what do you ask why? What do you do?
He wants to do all the other activities. He wants to study, like, recite alphabets, poems, numbers,
So,
play with his dinosaurs.
okay.
And
And does he get any nap in the
he hates naps also. He doesn't want to sleep in the afternoons as well. Like, he hates it. And, like, he is just overexcited for everything else in the world. I guess he doesn't want to miss out on
yeah.
what's going on. Like,
So when
he's like,
you tell
I don't want to sleep.
so firstly there is regression in years. Like I said, this they're working on imagination at this age. They're working on independence. They are also picking up a lot of new skills, right? So sometimes sleep takes a backseat. Also, there are three. Most kids have started to, like I said, move towards dropping the nap. It will be almost like a year till they are completely going to drop it. But slowly, those signs start to come. So when he's telling you that I don't want you to sleep and I don't want you to sleep, it sounds to me like he's looking for connection, okay, between you and him, which means one-on-one time. Now we think, yeah, pura din to I am with my child only. What can I do, right? Like I'm literally like we are glued together. But this is the quality time where it's just you and baby one-on-one, no third person, and you guys are just engrossed in what's going on. It's probably an activity that is just with mama and baby. Okay, nobody else is interfering, right? Or stuff before bedtime that he enjoys doing and you both are doing together. So it's kind of sounds to me that he's looking for more connection, firstly. Second, a lot of he has a lot of energy that he wants to expend. So good outdoor time, a lot of running and jumping in the house before bedtime, playing hide and seek. That's what we do. That. Or sometimes I just place some cushions on the floor and then I tell my daughter go on the bed and jump. So we do that, to burn some excess before bedtime. So you can try that. Help. Please
Okay,
start
thank you so much,
that.
Amrita. I'm really feeling that, I'm going to have a consultation with you. Yeah, so I'll
Yeah.
do that pretty soon. Yes, I think I really, like, I loved listening to
I
you
will.
and I definitely need you.
I'm here.
Yeah, yeah, I'm definitely going to contact you.
Yeah,
Okay, we
you
can
did it
move
so
on to
well.
the audience
Yes,
questions. We have 6 questions in the question box, Vidya,
yes.
but I also saw a lot of questions in the chat window itself. I'll just try
Just
to,
one,
yeah.
yeah. Amrita, can we extend a little 5 minutes more or
Just take
uh,
questions that I'm seeing.
yes, yes.
Yeah. So
Please. Yeah, yeah.
asking me best way to put the child to sleep. If you're a breastfeeding mom, the best way to put the child to sleep is by to sleep. Easiest, you don't have to stand or anything. You can lie down on the sideline. You can rest the baby, you can doze off. If you're not a breastfeeding mom and your baby is below say 15 to 18 months of age, best way to put the baby to sleep is by rocking them. Usually before one does not work. Kids usually need an active form of sleep before that. So after that, you can gently nudge towards acting, lying down with them and all. But before 1.5 years, either you're rocking or you're nursing them to sleep. Best way to put it is that. Okay. Once in a while, baby wakes up every hour from midnight. Is that a problem? This probably should not happen. I don't understand when you say once in a while. How much is it once in a month? Uh, is it a few days in a month? But if it just happens one off and the child auto corrects the whole routine the next day onwards, then it's okay. Because sleep is not linear. Some days we are very great. Just try to keep the stimulation to minimum. Don't overstimulate your child. Don't give and check if baby is teething or is under regression or is working on any muscle. It can happen at that time. Or the baby is not well. Okay. Just checking for more questions.
Your voice is not clear, they say.
Okay. Is it better now?
Maybe when you start talking, there is an issue. Yeah.
There's a lot of modulation, like there's high pitch and low pitch. There's a lot of variation actually in the level of voice.
My daughter is 5 months old. She keeps keeping her thumb in her mouth, and if I remove it, she cries really bad. How to stop this happening? Why would you want to stop this? Sucking the thumb is the only self-soothing mechanism, right? And it also is preparing her for hand-mouth coordination. Will soon start solids. As she grows, she will stop this. Don't stick her thumb out. Let her cut. Okay, it is not a problem. Okay. One second. Struggling to put my 6 months for naps. Wakes up and put him down in bed, but sleeps peacefully on my feeding pillow and shoulder. Now, most babies are tired. When we separate them from they're wired to send separation from their caregivers. Also, it's a survival instinct in babies to stay close to us. Now, at 6 months, your baby is still and probably is not really ready to be put on the bed. So you can consider baby wearing. One is that, or maybe check the awake window. Is it too large? Is the baby so tired that they need extra? Have a look at that.
Okay. I think Amrita, they are not able to hear. Is it? I means they are saying they are not able to hear.
1 second.
Yeah.
Are you able to hear me now?
It sounds better.
Okay, someone is saying, can others please try to go on mute? Maybe that will help. Okay.
Sure, I can do that. How do I do?
Okay. Trying to look for there's a lot of echo. How many hours a 23 months old toddler? Wow, 16 hours is a lot. So at this age, 23 months, they should sleep for around 2 to 3 hours in the 3 hours in the day, and remaining is 10 to 12 hours in the night. So you're actually overall looking at 14 hours of sleep. 14 to 15. So yeah. What is the correct age to start sleep training? I do not sleep train. Sleep training involves letting the baby fall asleep on their own, cry it out, chair method, control crying, all of that. Whatever I suggest involves parental assistance. It involves us taking care of our child's needs. So if you mean what is the correct age to start having a routine for your child, our nap routine only starts to set around 4 months of age. Before that, there is no nap routine. So we are pretty much following the sleepy cues. Okay. So before 4 months, you can have a bedtime routine, but the right age to start having a good consistent routine is 4 months of age for babies. I think my voice is better now. I think it was the echo. Yeah. Trying to look for more questions. I think second. Do you see any okay? Do you see any questions?
There are a lot of questions in the question box, Vidya. Are you able to access it? No? Okay, I'll just read out the questions to you, Amrita, if that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. I just want to answer this question. She has been born. My baby is 2 months old. She sleeps in cradle and got habituated to cradle, swinging to fall asleep. What can I do to fall her asleep on bed from now on? Firstly, we do not use any cradle. It is a SIDS risk. It has actually been banned by the American Academy of Pediatrics. Okay, so no cradle. Please remove the cradle from your room. Now at 2 months, your baby needs contact, like I said. So the best way to help your child sleep is by you holding the baby for naps. If holding is getting too much, consider baby wearing. Because if you put your child on the bed, they will not sleep, they will wake up. Because till 4-5 months of age, they need contact to sleep. This is normal. This is how biology works. We are carrying mammals, biologically speaking. Okay. So the best way to support your child's sleep at 2 months is contact napping. And you should absolutely remove the cradle right away. Okay. It's dangerous. It's risky. It's a SIDS risk. I've had cases where the child has fallen from the, cradle and chula also. Because between 3 to 5 months, they're learning to turn and roll over as well. Okay. The best way to support your child is take them on your lap or baby wear. During night when I breastfeed, baby falls asleep after 5-10 minutes of feed. I'm worried is baby full or not. You have not mentioned your child's age, so I really can't answer. But if your baby is beyond 4+ months of age, they have regained their lowest birth weight. Then it's breastfeeding on demand. And if your baby is not full, they will demand again, so don't worry. Okay, so follow the baby, don't follow a feeding schedule. Right? Am I right, Vidya? My baby is 3. I want to answer these newborns. These are really tough times, so I want to. My baby is 3 months old और वो तभी सोती है जब मैं उसे breastfeed कराऊँ. I mean वो breastfeed लेते हुए सोती है. How can I change this? Breastfeed कराना सबसे easy method होता है. Also, our breast milk contains melatonin. Melatonin हमारा sleep hormone होता है. तो आपकी body से sleep hormone आपकी बच्ची की body में जाता है, इसलिए वो बहुत जल्दी सो जाती है. इस एज में अगर आप लेट के ब्रेस्ट फीड भी करा सकते हो तो आपको भी रेस्ट मिलेगा. अगर आप ब्रेस्ट फीडिंग नहीं कराना चाहते हो, देन योर अदर ऑप्शन इज इस एज में उसको गोद में लेके रॉक करना. इसका तीसरा कोई तरीका नहीं है. सो शी विल नीड कॉन्टैक्ट. तो आइदर आप ब्रेस्ट फीड करो, वो बेस्ट वे है. अदरवाइज उसको रॉक करो, या आप बेबी वेयर भी कंसिडर कर सकते हो, जिसमें भी अगेन आप रॉक ही करोगे उसको, बट जस्ट दैट आपके हाथ फ्री रहेंगे. योर हैंड्स विल बी फ्री. But nursing to sleep is biologically okay, appropriate, and the easiest way to put our babies to sleep. Okay? It's not a bad habit. Don't get into that trap. All right? My 4.5 months baby, after completing 4 months, sleeps less for less duration during the daytime. Is it okay? At 4 months, your child should be on 4 naps. We should be looking at around 5 hours to 6 hours of day sleep. Now at 4 months, your child has started to have a sleep cycle, which was not present before, and their sleep cycle is only 30 to 45 minutes. So you will have to work on increasing their nap duration and sleep cycle. So, and obviously now they're not newborn, so they do need less sleep, but overall at 4 months they still continue to need around 15 hours of total sleep. Okay, I think I pretty much answered whatever I could see. If you have more questions, tell me.
We have actually a lot of questions in the question box, but I guess we will run out of time. So what I think is best is, I've just taken the screenshots and maybe we can share those questions with you later, Amrita, and we can post that as comments on our, on this post once we post on the feed. What do you think?
You save this live on your, yeah?
Yes.
So whatever questions they have, maybe probably write it under the live and I'll answer that.
Yes, that's what we are going to do. So we will post in all the questions, tagging you and the person who has asked the question in the comments once we post this live session on our feed, and you can then answer them
Done.
directly.
Done.
Yeah, before we sign off, would you like to share some tips, quick tips? I think you have already, I mean, you have already covered, but
I
just as
have
a
one
summary.
question for you, Amrita. I was just checking on your personal information, and I found that you have a 3-year-old daughter, and it was like 2 years back that you started,
3.6.
sorry.
She's 3.6. She's almost 4 now. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay, and you've started, basically you became a baby sleep consultant after you had your baby.
Yeah.
So what made you venture into this area? Was it some issue?
My own suffering.
That's the best. Actually, I really feel that mompreneurs, or the entrepreneurs, women become after they become mothers are mainly because of the issues they face in their personal life. Yeah, that was one thing I wanted to ask. Yeah, yeah, please, you can continue.
That is the
Thank you for that,
short,
Amrita.
that is the short of it. But uh, it was the truth, because when she was born, we had zero knowledge about sleep. So we attended Lama's classes, baby massage classes. Zero idea, no classes for sleep. I have no idea. Okay. And I have been told all my life that, oh, baby, so just go off to sleep. It's very easy, right? This is the lie we have all been told. So when she was born, I realized this is not what is happening. Nobody told me this is going to be so tough. So incessant crying, witching hours, long, sessions of crying in the night where I'm just miserable. We're not understanding what is happening. And then after 2 months, I realized this is not normal. What she's doing is not normal. This is not supposed to be like this. And I just started to read. I read so much until I could not read anymore, and then some. And I started to educate myself. Now, most of the things that were available on the internet were to do with sleep training and leaving the child to cry it out and all, which I did not want to do. So I figured there has to be some way. This is not normal for my child to cry for so long. I'm miserable, she's miserable, my husband is miserable, everybody in the house is suffering. What is happening? And on top of that, I'm not able to figure out my own child. That part felt really, tough for me. The toughest part was I'm not able to understand what she wants to tell me. Yeah. And then I studied, read, and then I started to apply whatever knowledge I was gaining. And within a week, we started seeing changes. She was a calmer baby. She was able to sleep longer. We started to have a nap routine around 3.5, 4 months of age. I started to nurse in sideline position around 4.5, 5 months of age. I started to become really, careful about her sleep routine. And things just very smoothly changed. I started to enjoy motherhood finally. And I said, boss, 100% of parents are suffering. There is no knowledge on sleep. जिससे बात करो, everybody is miserable when it comes to sleep. And sleep is something that starts even before solids. Starts from day one, and nobody knows what to do. So then as I was learning and applying this knowledge, then we have these mom WhatsApp groups, and somehow I became the go-to person for sleep on the groups, and everybody with sleep issues would come to me, and I would give them advice and it would work. And I realized, oh wow, there is a massive demand and supply gap out there. Let me fill this. So then then I studied. I decided to take this up professionally. So to answer you, this is the long answer, but simple answer is that out of my own suffering, so everybody has my daughter to thank. So out of my own miserable first 3-4 months and our own suffering was this career born, you know. So yeah. But I'm very thankful for it, because I just finally feel that this is what I was meant to do. This is my calling, and I tell this to everybody. I'm successful not in spite of motherhood, but because of it. So, I'm sure you can relate to what relate to what I'm saying, both of you. So this is how it began.
Yes, yes, definitely can relate to it completely. Thank you so much for sharing that, Amrita. It was lovely to
Yes.
hear.
Yeah. And it is so good, right? When a mother says, "Oh, I'm able to put my baby to sleep." Thank you so much, Amrita. And
Best.
that's a relief. Yes.
I've made great friends in the process. I get pictures of the babies on every occasion. So it's so nice to,
Yeah.
Because I've
The most difficult.
seen
Yeah.
like when they're born and then the 6 months and 10 months and old, it's just nice. This is a special bond. Each child I work with is very special to me. So it's just really nice to be able to do this.
Yeah. Once I unmute, I think again the echo is starting. So could you please share tips? I'll go on mute again.
So tips, uh, simple tips would be to take care of your own sleep and rest, hire help wherever you can, ask for help wherever you can. Ensure you don't overtire your baby. You know, don't wait for the baby to look tired to put them to sleep. That's myth. Don't fall into the trap where you're told that let the baby be awake the whole day and that they sleep better in the night. It couldn't be far from the truth. When they sleep better in the days, when they sleep better in the night. So these simple few things to keep in mind that baby, especially ensure that you're giving a good sleep environment to your child, conducive environment. It's not too hot, too cold, too bright, and you're following your child's lead. The most important thing is to follow your child's lead. So do that, right?
Yes. And someone, I think they have attended your session and they are so thankful to you
Oh, thank you so
for that.
much.
There's a comment there. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Zahira.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Zahira. Thank you, means a lot.
And thank you so much, Amrita, for your time. We loved this session.
Pleasure. Thank you so much for having
Yes.
me. Thanks a lot.
And let's plan for many more sessions.
Yes.
And
So,
yes, definitely there will be mothers looking up to you. And yes, let's plan for another session maybe some other time, and we can have many more questions answered. Maybe we'll have we can have a session where only we are answering the questions from the audience. We can plan something like that. And thank you, Amrita, so much once again for joining, and thank you everyone for joining us. And Nilufar, thank you for joining even when you are
take
not
care.
well. Okay, that means a lot. Yes.
I hope you feel better soon. Bye. Thanks, Vidya. Bye. Bye.